Hello and welcome to the Huddle. Liam Santamaria back with you, and the episodes are coming thick and strong right now. We're storming through the preseason coaches series. Before today's ep, quick shout out to wherever all the places that you can get the show, including where you're consuming it right now, your favorite podcast app, the NBL website, and of course the YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube right now, click subscribe right underneath. And if you haven't subscribed to the NBL YouTube channel, go there, get that done. Dropping some video essays right now and a whole bunch of good stuff. So get into that. Today, the champ is here. Sydney Kings head coach Chase Buford. They're going for back-to-back in the Harbour City, and we're going to talk all about it. So sit back, relax. Up next, Chase Buford. Chase, what's happening, mate? Good to see you.
Liam, how's it going, mate? Thanks for having me on.
I am good. How's married life?
Yeah, it's good. Been a whirlwind of a few months for sure, but good to be back in Australia. Honeymoon, I don't think she ever wanted to leave, but I was got my cup filled up and ready to get back and get in the gym with these guys.
Nice. Where are you? You in the salon? Where are we right now?
No, I'm at the office here. This is our facilities are a little old and outdated. We are in this old local council building that we share with a bunch of other people at gyms, but we make it work.
High-tech seats, like they're like kind of gaming seats.
We do have the racer, they're the gaming chairs, I guess, for the coaches. It's nice.
Nice, mate. What is this life that you're leading? Like you come over here, you win the championship, all too easy. You go get married to Kelly in Mexico, then you go to Fiji for the honeymoon. I called your media man, Julian O'Brien, the other day. He said, I think Chase and Kelly are golfing right now. What is this life you're leading and how can I live it?
Yeah, no, man, not a lot of complaints. It's been a fun couple years, really, going back to Milwaukee and even before that. But yeah, really blessed to have a lot of great people in my life that I get to share with, Kelly being first and foremost, and blessed with a great group here that we got to win a championship with, and now a lot of guys back to try to run it back.
And do you guys feel like Sydney siders now?
A little bit. Still a lot more to explore, I think. We got here and for so long everything was shut down and really dug into the season for most of last year. So definitely keen to get out and explore the city a bit more.
What is your favorite thing about? I mean, the probably the least favorite is the traffic, I'm sure. What's your favorite thing about living in Sydney? What do you like doing?
We have both Bondi Beach and a couple nice dog parks right on the water and the edge of the cliffs, about a 5-minute walk from the house. And we take the dog for a walk or two every day. And I think just getting a chance to be outside and admire the awesome views here, it's pretty nice.
Nice. Have you got many guys on the floor? You've got guys everywhere right now.
Yeah, we're a little short on bodies. Obviously Jackson today had a great game for South Sudan. I think it clinched their group in World Cup qualifying, and DJ tore it up the other night. I texted him after the game. I was like, "Hey, will you shoot some of those threes with us? That you've been shooting with Diamond Valley and Phoenix Summer League. You have this quick trigger, and sometimes I feel like I got to beg him to shoot with us." But no, yeah, we're missing a few guys. Looking forward to get them in later in the week. But we've started last week with the group we have, in the gym, and had a good first week, and looking forward to putting in more and more as we get a fuller gym.
First coach Dejan Vasilievic's ever had that says, sometimes I feel like I have to beg you to shoot that thing.
Well, it's funny. To his credit, he did a great job of it. But I think he really wanted to show that he could drive and play the way that everybody else on our team played last year, and get in the gaps and those type of things. And sometimes I think he passed up looks where you see it now. But he's just firing from half court in NBL 1. I'm like, you got it. Like, go ahead. Wow. So hopefully we'll see that translate a little bit. And we talked a little bit before. I think DJ's in for a big year, and I'm really excited to see what he has in store.
Is it fluorescent green, that light for him this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably always been that for DJ a little bit, but you're not going to find better shooters in this league than DJ. So why would we get in his way of getting the ball in the hoop?
Another guy that you haven't had every single day in Sydney at the moment is Kawat Noi. doing great things in the NBL One North. MVP. He's shed a whole bunch of weight. He's looking very good, and he's looking to kind of bounce back this year with you guys. He's also, the thing I love about Kawhi Noy is he loves to talk the talk. He talks the talk. He usually then walks the walk. What do you think when you see him saying the types of things he's saying ahead of big grand final games and the like?
Yeah, no, I feel bad. We absolutely cooked him last week and then set him up there, half baked to go try to play a game after, talking what he did. But I think it was interesting because he seems such a quiet, unassuming guy. And in practice, he's been killing it, but he's been, not the loudest. In a group, we got Sean Bruce and Zave and some of these guys who maybe are a little chirpy. He hasn't been, vocally like that, at least yet. Maybe he's still finding his way amongst our group. But no, he's really enjoyable to be around. He's been impressive. He's someone we're really excited to add into our group, and maybe something different than we've had in the past in some ways.
So who has impressed you thus far, reporting into the start of preseason and doing good things?
Yeah, Quat's one that definitely comes to the front of your mind. I think, gosh, it's nice to have Xavier Cooks back in the gym. He's a heck of a player, as he always is. But Bawali's been terrific. Really excited about what he's going to bring this year. I think Jordy, getting him is almost like a new signing for me. And seeing what he can do for us. Obviously didn't get a chance to really play him at all last year, but one probably under the radar one I think will turn some heads this year is Jalen Galloway. Really solid year up in NBL One North, and he's got a great frame, boatloads of talent. I think he's starting to get a little bit of a drive or competitiveness now to him that's going to help take him where he needs to go.
You mentioned his name before as well, Jackson McCoy. So cool what the South Sudanese national team are doing right now. How cool is it to see him and what he's doing and that group?
It's great. And then to Jackson's credit, I think that's probably what initially inspired me or made me fall in love with him as a player, is watching him play with that national team and seeing what he can do. And they're a super talented group. We were just looking at the box score, and you look at the names on that team, and JLA had like 3 points and they still blow somebody out. And it's like, man, they got a heck of a squad over there. So for him to get in there and fit in and play well, I think he was player of the game for them today. It's really impressive. And he's one that we're really excited to get our hands on a little more and see what we got there.
For sure. Big shout out Luol Deng for what he's done over the journey with that, with South Sudanese basketball. Hey, speaking of guys that have been on the practice court in preseason, let's talk through your new imports. And let's start with Derek Walton Jr., because he's going to be the head of the snake for you guys this season. Led the G League in assists last year, almost 10 a game. For those who haven't seen a lot of him and are thinking, man, we were fun to watch with Jalen Adams running the show last season, what do you have in Derek Walton Jr.?
Yeah, an elite playmaker. I think you'll see somebody who our coaches are already, like, did you see that pass? He puts it on the money for guys every time. So I think Derek is someone who will get everybody else really involved and going, while at the same time be able to make plays for himself in the mold that you saw Jalen do. And I think guys will love playing with him because he'll get them the ball in the spots that they need to score. So I think bringing in someone like that who's going to make everybody else better was huge for us. And we're really excited about him. And defensively, he's a competitor. He's been there, done it in Michigan, NBA, G League. That's been his MO in terms of making it. So we're really fired up about him. And obviously everybody knows Justin very well in this league. And Tim's probably a bit of a new face or a name for a lot of people, but I think he's really going to turn some heads. He's got a great size, great frame, can really shoot it. And a very high IQ player, just a smart all around basketball player.
You mentioned his name, Suarez.
I think it's, yes, Suarez is how I've been told. Yeah, that's Kevin Lish. That was how he's been dishing it to me. That's what
Can you give Kev my number?
Yeah, I'll have Kev call you and explain how he's pretty confident in his pronunciation right now.
If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it. All right, so 3 new imports, all big minute guys. Does the style change for you guys this season?
I think that was kind of the beauty of our style last year, is it didn't matter too much who was on the court one way or another. We were going to try to come out and play the same style. And obviously, when you got a guy like X or Jalen, you're going to get them the ball in places that suit them well. But no, to answer your question, we're going to come out and play a very similar style to the way we did a year ago. And hopefully maybe be even quicker, even better in some things, and see how it takes us.
Okay. All right. Two guys that excelled in that style were Jalen Adams and Jarrell Martin in particular. Certainly Ian Clark as well, but knowing his pedigree, that wasn't a surprise, and it wasn't a surprise with either of those two guys either. Especially once we saw Jarrell Martin in the preseason and the condition he was in, and how well that style was going to suit him. On to great things, going to earn a bunch of money, playing in the Euro League. You must be really proud of that. Jalen in particular, though, just killed it here. And he killed it in the G League with you with Wisconsin. Why do you think he's not playing in the NBA?
It's a good question. I think there's a lot of talented players in the world, and there's, probably 50 to 70 point guard positions available in the NBA. And it's a really competitive game and league. And to say that he's personally, I think he's in that top 50 to 70, no doubt. But obviously there's some other people he's got to prove. He's had some, road bumps along the way. And life affects us all differently. So I think if he goes over and has a good year in your league, hopefully people will continue to see how good of a player he is. But yeah, it's hard. It's a competitive business.
He's a perfect example of, time and situation, and how all of that comes into play for sure. Hey, you talked about guys looking to take a leap this year. You talked about Dejan Vasiljevic, how good it is to have X in the gym. X, we had some way too early preseason predictions from me and some others recently, and me and 5 others of the 10 picked X as the league MVP. What do you think a leap from him this year looks like?
Yeah, it was funny. We do player development meetings with all our guys and try to highlight some areas we want to see them grow, listen to them where they want to get better, and kind of form a plan where we're going to take the season, and have some goals, statistical goals along with it. And I put some in front of X, like averaging a double and some assist numbers and things like that. And in a vacuum, we're like, dang, that seems really hard to attain or get. And then you look at the numbers, and he pretty much did it all last year. Right. And so I think for him, staying healthy and just kind of solidifying what he did a year ago will be MVP caliber numbers in and of itself. So I think for him, he's going to keep growing as a player, and there's gaps in his game, which he wants to get better at, and we want him to get better at all those things. But if he comes out and has a year close to what he had last year, I think Sydney Kings are going to be in pretty good shape.
Exactly. Like if he does the back half of last season, 10 straight doubles, clear grand final MVP, does that all year, he's well and truly in that conversation.
Yeah, and to be fair to X, he carried us early in the year too. We just probably weren't as good around him to inflate his numbers to make him look as good. And Jalen obviously played great. Jarrell, talked about X being a clear finals MVP, and he was, but boy, Jarrell Martin was pretty good those last couple of games too.
Yeah.
So, but it's X is just staying on the floor, doing what he can do. He's a different player in this league than a lot of players, and we're really fortunate to have him.
For sure. All right. Well, so the DJ X, talking about guys maybe trying to make a leap in their careers. What about you? How do you go to the next level as a coach this season?
I've obviously got some growing to do in a lot of areas, and I think working on that will be a big part of it. But you asked me, a similar question last year, and I think being a head coach is so fun because you get to learn all the time, and you feel all the emotions of every game and every practice and every scrimmage and every player. So, that's my goal, is to maybe just keep getting better at all the little things and managing myself better, but just enjoying the heck out of where I'm at right now.
We did talk last time about like the emotional side of coaching and keeping that in check and striking the perfect balance for you moving forward in terms of the competitiveness and when it tips over. But parking that for a second, the more technical side of coaching, the X's and the O's and the things along that type of nature, where do you think you are at in your journey in that side of the game?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're always evolving, whether you're young or old, and you're learning and finding things you like and you don't like. And I think you kind of just are where you are on that bell curve at any point in life. I came in after the season kind of fired up to change a lot and maybe hack at the offense and things like that. And my coaches talked me off the ledge a little bit and said, no, do you not watch the finals and things like that? We were pretty good towards the end of the year on offense. So maybe we just need to get better and not think so much about the dark days of the early seasons.
Yeah, nice. I feel like maybe there's a guy within your organization that has those types of conversations on the regular in Big Luke, who he's like the player whisperer. Is that a good description?
He's the people whisperer. I mean, he and I just went to lunch an hour ago before we got on the phone and, talked about a variety of different things, but he's just a great person to ask questions, to make you think, and to be a sounding board for questions that you have. And we'll always come at it and make you feel like he's coming at it from no other angle than just to help you. And I think that's the way he comes at it for every guy. And people like MK last year, he was hugely important, I think, in getting him in the right frame of mind to go help himself and help our team play and win. And MK, in conversation we have postseason, back that up a ton. He reiterated what an important piece Luke was to him and what Bruce was to him and different guys. But Luke is the ultimate, he just has a calmness and a understanding about the world, or a unique vision of the world and viewpoint that I think guys really resonate with.
Before he was with the Sydney Kings, Luke, Andre Lamanis brought him in as an assistant coach with the Boomers program, and he played an important role in that regard with the green and gold. And his MO at that point was backgammon. He would, when they'd be on the road and they'd be playing warm-up games in Lithuania and so on and so forth, he would invite a guy up to his room. They'd bring out the backgammon, they'd play, and eventually they'd just get to talking. How does he go about it with you guys?
No, I think the backgammon is still something that's very close to Luke. He must not like me enough because I've never gotten the invite to go play, but I know he's played with many of the guys. He was telling me that night about games he used to have with Gorge, and I think Gorge got him a few times, but then Luke figured out the strategy. I don't even know that there is strategy in backgammon, but Luke's convinced that there's a whole way to play and everything like that.
Come on, don't be a backgammon hater.
I don't know the game well enough to know. So,
man, you play backgammon against people in certain European countries, and it's like a work of art the way they go about it. It's like they're like and one mixtape ballers of backgammon, in that the way they roll, the way they move them, and Luke would know exactly what I'm talking about. So so he on the road and the like, it's not bringing the backgammon set out on the sidelines of the practice court, right?
I haven't seen him bring the set out, but I know he's played with Jarrell and a few other guys, and he definitely talks about his backgammon a lot, like he's one of the best players in the world.
Nice. One of the things Luke does, and he's going to help big time with you guys this year, did. He was a part of a team in the Bulls that were able to repeat as champions. It's a very difficult thing to do at elite levels. Behind me here, I got Phil Jackson, 3 3-peats and a back-to-back. I got Black Caviar. Have you ever heard of Black Caviar?
Oh, the horse. Yeah, of course.
25 and zip is his record. I got MJ here, of course, 2 3-peats. John Wooden, more championships than you can poke a stick at. What do you think are the unique challenges of trying to repeat as champions?
Yeah, it's funny. Name you didn't mention there was Greg Popovich, and I was having dinner with Pop after the wedding, and I said, I can understand, some of the hurdles between going back to back. Everyone sits there and tells you how great you are all season, and you want to drink and enjoy and celebrate and all that stuff, and while everybody else has probably got their nose to the ground, working. And obviously I got married and a lot of the things, but I'm fighting my own insecurities right now of would I have had the summer I did if we didn't win, would I be more motivated or differently motivated or whatever it is. And I think, there's definitely some of that complacency or whatever that sets in, and we'll just have to work that much harder throughout the season to overcome it.
I can't remember who it was. Somebody was talking about some advice they got from an experienced NFL coach of some sort, and he said there's no such thing as defending a championship. He said you won last year. This year you're not defending the title. You won that title. No one ever takes that title away. You don't need to do any defending of that title whatsoever. it's a new game, it's a new goal. You're just trying to go after the same thing everyone else is going after.
Yeah, that was the message that we tried to kind of impart on day one, is that, we don't have any secret formula or secret sauce that any other team doesn't have. It's not going to be any easier for us because we've been there. We don't experience doesn't mean nothing, as we saw last year. Two teams that had very little, got all the way. So at the end of the day, but at the same time, we're gonna have a target on our back every day we play. So it's going to be harder than it was a year ago. It's not going to be as hard, or it's going to be harder. And so we're going to have to climb that mountain a little higher and all those things, and just embrace that and have fun with it and enjoy being the team that everyone wants to knock down. But that, again, anything we've done before means nothing towards this season and going forward.
What advice did Pop give you when you brought that up?
No, I mean, we had a laugh because I think we then got to talking, and it's like you talk about 04, and in the midst of their 3 every other 5 years was Derek Fisher's shot with .04 on the clock, which technically, if you timed it, it was like 0.57, so I shouldn't have counted, but I'm obviously bitter. And then you go 2 years later, and game 7, you're up 3 with 10 seconds to go, and Manu fouls Dirk on an and one drive, and the Mavs go on to the finals, but a Heat. And it's like you're 2 plays away from maybe a 5-peat. Right. Obviously, who knows what happens in those in-betweens and things like that, but basketball is a fine game. You're fortunate to come away. We were fortunate to win some of the games we did last year, and we recognize that now. I think we did a great job executing and doing things we needed to do when we did, and our players stepped up and made great plays. But at the end of the day, it's hard. It's hard to win, and it takes good breaks along the way. And you're going to need to work just as hard and hope for some good ones along the way the next one.
It does take good breaks, like broken LED screens and those types of things along the way. Hey, speaking of lights, Christmas Day this year, it's going to be fun at Kudos Bank Arena. Thoughts on playing a Christmas Day game?
Yeah, I'm probably a little more numb to it than the average Australian sporting fan, because I've played and coached in Christmas Day games already in my life. So it'll be fun though. I think there's a fun vibe around a Christmas Day game that's kind of unique, and everybody gets to come after their beach or their lunches or whatever and come enjoy some nightcap hoops. And if you're at home, I mean, whether you hate it or love it, most of the people probably talking trash will be at home, tuned in, watching and seeing what happens. So one more thing to do on Christmas, never a bad thing.
So from your experience in the States, and we know how much of a staple it is in that NBA environment, to you, it's a no-brainer to you to be playing on Christmas Day?
I mean, for me, Christmas Day starts at 11:30 with I guess 11:30 Central with the early showing game, and 12:30 Eastern. That was kind of when we sit down and start opening presents as a family and hang out and watch the games. So yeah, no, Christmas and basketball makes sense to me, and I know it's new for a lot of people. But I think they're going to like it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You didn't, I mean, you would have had Dad like heading off, right? Geez, you're all right.
Oh, good. A little cough attack. Hopefully it's not,
you're okay.
It's not a COVID.
You would have had the old man leaving the house to head to Christmas Day games at times, right? I mean, you didn't feel like that disrupted your family Christmas situation?
No, not really. I mean, again, we probably would have gone to the games if they were there. My first few years in the league, one year we were fortunate enough to where I was working with the Bulls and we played in San Antonio on Christmas Day. I was like, thank you, Adam Silver. You are my guy. A couple birds, one stone there. So that was really cool. And so again, I think basketball brings people together. It's a fun game, and more memories shared together with new people or old friends and family, all the better.
Love it. And I mean, this is one of the things I love about the league right now is like we break down barriers. We do new things. We play NBA teams in preseason. We get to Tasmania before footy does, and we just dive in and we do it. And that's what's happening here with Christmas Day. Hey, we talked about this a little bit before, but just to finish off, and I'm asking all the coaches pretty much this same question to polish it off. Winning the championship is the ultimate goal every single year. That's the thing that sits at the top of the mountaintop. But apart from that, and as part of that, what does success look like for the Sydney Kings in your eyes this season?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm stretching here. I think you asked me something similar last year, and it was along the lines of growing basketball in Sydney was a huge part of our goal. And
Hmm.
to back that up, we had 16,000 for Game 3, the largest grand final crowd in NBL history. I think that was pretty cool, and something I think what I gather a lot of people maybe didn't expect out of the Sydney fan base. And to see it grow is cool, and hopefully we can back that up and continue to grow it this year. But back to your question about what success looks like, I think there's a lot of disappointed people in our locker room if there's not another trophy sitting next to the one from last year on the plinth come this time next year.
Love it. Love it. All right, man. Well, I don't want to keep you off the golf course any longer. I know. Is Kelly waiting for you? What's happening?
No, she's not invited to today's round, probably just a little rain session. So
okay. All right. Very good. But thanks heaps for the chat, man. Good luck. I'm loving watching what you guys did last season and your efforts again this year and the fun style that you play. Love having you in the league and always love chopping it up.
well, keep up all the good work, mate. The content you put out keeps us junkies going.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, man.